In the year 2347, humanity had reached the threshold of what was once thought impossible. The stars, once distant and unreachable, had become waypoints in an interstellar network of colonies, research stations, and trade routes. Earth, though still revered as the cradle of civilization, had become a bustling hub in a galaxy slowly waking up to its own potential. But it was in the unassuming orbit of a dying red giant, HD 134,440, that the most extraordinary discovery was made. The star, located nearly 150 light-years from Earth, had long been catalogued as a curiosity due to its low metallicity and unusual movement through the Milky Way. It was an old star, one of the galaxy's ancient wanderers, and until recently, no one had paid much attention to it beyond the occasional spectral analysis. That changed when Dr. Anne Ravel, an astrophysicist and data analyst aboard the observatory vessel Daedalus, noticed an anomaly in the star's radiation patterns. What first appeared as background noise soon revealed itself to be a repeating signal-encoded pulse embedded in the radio waves emitted by the star. It wasn't just regular stellar noise. It had structure, rhythm, and complexity. Within days, teams across multiple star systems were poring over the data, attempting to decipher the message. Aboard the Daedalus, the crew watched in stunned silence as Anne managed to isolate the signal into a coherent data stream. It was a map. The coordinates led to a system known only by a sterile catalog name, HRX 11847. It was deep in the Perseus arm, shrouded by dense nebulae and well outside the typical lanes of travel. A small mission team was quickly assembled under the banner of the Celestial Exploration Initiative, a coalition of Earth and Martian scientific bodies. Among them were Dr. Ravel, Mission Commander Idris Kale, xenolinguist Yuri Amane, and biotechnologist Kyron Solas. The journey to HRX 11847 took nearly 3 months aboard the CEI vessel Horizon Breaker, a sleek, advanced craft capable of near-instantaneous jumps between stable gravimetric points. During the trip, Yuri spent long hours analyzing the signal's linguistic structure. Though it was clearly artificial, the message contained no language known to humans. It didn't need to. The signal relied on universal mathematical principles: Fibonacci sequences, prime numbers, golden ratios encoded within spatial representations. It was as if the creators knew that any intelligent species would eventually discover and understand these fundamental truths. Upon arrival, the Horizon Breaker emerged on the outskirts of a system veiled in violet clouds of interstellar dust. There were 6 planets, but only one designated HRX-4 had conditions suitable for exploration. As the ship neared the planet, sensors picked up massive structures on the surface, partially buried under layers of crystallized silica and ice. They weren't natural. The crew descended in a dropship and landed on what appeared to be an artificial platform half submerged in a frozen ocean. Towering monoliths stretched into the sky, etched with intricate patterns that shimmered faintly in the dim light of the red dwarf sun. The air was thin but breathable, suggesting terraformation efforts long abandoned. Within hours, the team discovered a network of tunnels beneath the surface. As they explored deeper into the subterranean maze, strange artifacts emerged: metallic orbs, levitating in zero corridors that responded to thought with shifting architecture, and walls embedded with alien script that seemed to shift under observation. The architecture suggested not just advanced engineering but a form of technology fused with consciousness. Kyron theorized that the structures were grown rather than built, possibly biological in origin. Anne noted that certain patterns in this signal were mirrored in the wall carvings, indicating a cultural or historical link. Then came the discovery that changed everything: a chamber lined with crystalline interfaces, and a central pedestal holding an object resembling an When Yuri approached the pedestal, the obelisk activated. It emitted a low-frequency hum that resonated through the chamber and into the minds of the explorers. In that moment, every member of the team experienced something profoundly personal: visions, memories, and emotions that felt both alien and familiar. Yuri described it as a kind of mental handshake, a greeting from an intelligence beyond comprehension. The obelisk, it turned out, was a repository, not just of knowledge, but of consciousness, a digital soul, encoded in quantum threads and preserved across The ancient race that built this world had transcended physical form and left behind markers, waiting for another mind to find and awaken them. Over the next several days, The Horizon Breaker crew worked tirelessly to interface with the obelisk, using Neuralink technology and quantum processors. Anae and Yori managed to extract fragments of data, glimpses of the builders' history, their struggles, their triumphs, and their final exodus from the physical universe. They were not gods, nor invincible. They had feared extinction, and so chose preservation over annihilation. Idris, ever the pragmatic leader, struggled with the philosophical implications. What did it mean for humanity? He wondered, to encounter such a legacy. Was this a warning or an invitation? The crew debated late into the ship's nights, their conversations stretching into the existential. Then, an event none could have predicted. The obelisk began to change. Its glow intensified, and the surrounding architecture responded by shifting. The tunnels reconfigured into a path leading deeper underground. With caution, the team followed, finding themselves in a cathedral-like space filled with dormant obelisks, hundreds of them. Each obelisk was a soul, a story, a consciousness, and they were waking up. A choice lay before the crew: return to Earth with their findings, or remain and attempt to learn directly from these resurrected intelligences. Idris put it to a vote. The decision was unanimous. They would stay. Weeks turned into months. The crew learned not just facts, but philosophies, sciences, and arts lost to time. The intelligences were patient teachers, revealing to humanity new ways to understand gravity, time, and the fabric of reality itself. The Horizon Breaker became a permanent station, a bridge between two civilizations. Messages were sent back to Earth, encrypted and translated, inviting others to come. But with a caveat: only those willing to listen, not conquer. Dr. Ane Ravel spent her final days surrounded by glowing obelisks, her mind merged in part with the network of ancient minds. Before passing, she recorded one final message: "We came seeking answers in the stars. What we found was a mirror. In their eyes, we saw ourselves not as we are, but as we could become. This place is not the end of our journey. It is only the beginning." And so the story of HRX-4 became legend, not just as a discovery, but as a turning point. The moment humanity stopped looking at the stars as strangers and began seeing them as chapters in a shared cosmic story. If you're inspired by the journey we've just shared, consider subscribing to Skybound Minds. Help us bring more of the universe's mysteries to light. Share your thoughts, your questions, and let this be the spark that drives our next great leap.